my life into pieces. This is my last resort. Suffocation, no breathing. Don't give a fuck if I cut my arm bleeding. This is my last.
Welcome to GamerzStation's Browser Games of the Week for the week of June 19th. And I'm your disembodied voice, Steven SnakeYukin Lindsey. Now, if you don't know, what we're going to be doing is telling you about some of the better browser games for this week. Now, some of these games may have actually came out in previous weeks. However, we use the Newgrounds dating system, so often we go by when the games are put up on Newgrounds. We're not saying Newgrounds is the best, we just like the fact they actually have dates on their games. Also, if you notice a game should be on our list, but it isn't, and you believe it should, simply leave a comment in our comment section with a link to the game. And with those out of the way, let's start this week's list. Finally, another game in the Reincarnation series of games. Too bad it's not a full game though, it's just another mini in the series. This time, Najah the terrorist has escaped through a reincarnate portal and you have to bring him back. But as usual, you have to prove he's still up to his old ways, and if he's a terrorist, we have an idea of what he might be doing. A tower defense game in the purest meaning of it. Protecting a tower. You build up your tower by adding different levels to it, and each new level costs more and more souls, as well as depending on the type of defense level as well. The point is to hold off your enemies so you can cast a destructive spell that wins the level. Just too bad they actually never show you casting the spell. They're not technically chickens, but rather chicks. Cute little adorable chicks. Too bad these chicks don't know how to get back to their nest though, which is right often below them, so you gotta help them by destroying bales of hay to drop them or direct them to their nests. Just make sure it's not other birds, because they take up space too. A game that is meant to be a confrontational game and forcing you to think and feel in-game and also in real life. It didn't quite achieve that for me, but it might for you. But it is an interesting game. Depending on how you respond and act throughout the game determines how the scenery will look and change. In one, it becomes Technicolorful Land. The other isn't. It's the journey that feels the best in this game. While Quicksand often brings to mind an unfortunate victim sinking to their death in sand, this one is actually about sand levels rising rather quickly and you needing to escape from the place. You play as a female explorer, let's just call her a Tomb Raider, with long yellow hair, who has taken a golden idol and caused the place to be flooded with sand. Now you have to quickly escape before you die. Easier said than done, my friends. Take on the role of Roy, a policeman in the vein of Dick Tracy. Or was he a detective? Anyways, Roy is taking on the Mafia, which I'm not saying exists at all, who must use stealth, a pistol, and a grappling hook to stick it to them. Yes, this game has a grappling hook in it. Also, I must say, the game is a little glitchy, but it's fun when it does work. Just try to only take on the game with stealth kills, then you'll find it won't be a cakewalk. Games involving your Twitter account aren't a new thing per se, though it is one of the few that I can play even with my few followers. The game uses your avatar and faces you off against others with the point of destroying their crystals or having the most surviving soldiers at the end of a time limit. After the match begins, your avatar magically turns into soldiers that attack your opponent. Depending on the avatar that you have, it will determine how your troops act. Certain ones will have their entire army attack, while others will have half of them attacking and the other half defending, and there's also several different combinations of this. You're trapped in a freezer, and it's up to you to survive and escape before hypothermia takes place. Also, if you watch the worst case scenario where Bear Grylls is caught in a freezer, it doesn't help you out in this one. The point of the game is to point and click. I think we can tell that by the images, but point and click games hardly make anything easy on you. There's even the need to Google a Celsius to Fahrenheit calculator, unless you're good at conversions off the top of your head. The game isn't easy, but it never feels too hard that you can't figure out the solution eventually. Unless you look over objects in plain sight like I do too often. Puzzles and robots. Well, at least one of those two is something most people like. You take on the role of controlling a robot who must light up blue panels in a room. Sounds easy? Well, you have to program the robot and make sure you can do it within a certain move amount. See, not as easy as you thought. The only downside is there aren't a lot of levels. The title really explains what you're to do in this game. You type to defend yourself. What you're defending is the Earth from asteroids that always want to destroy the Earth. Each asteroid has words attached to it, which you must type out to destroy. As the game progresses, bigger words come into play, and the asteroids begin to come faster and faster than before. Obviously, knowing the layout of your keyboard helps a lot. Puzzle Quest on the High Sea. While it isn't technically that's the best way of explaining Sea Journey. You play a Bejeweled-esque matching game that, in turn, determines if you attack your enemy, gain gold, or other jewels. The story is unimportant, and you'll soon learn this and quickly go over the cutscenes. The game can feel a little easy, but apparently if it doesn't like you, it can actually be quite hard. And with that, this week's Browser Games of the Week list comes to an end. Now, if you don't know, each and every Sunday, we'll be putting up a new video for our Browser Games of the Week list series. So if you like these videos, or want to be up to date on the better browser games of the week, or you simply like all of our videos in general, simply subscribe to us. It only takes one click of that subscribe button to be able to be up to date on all of our videos. And also, if you do, you'll be able to be informed whenever we start our contest soon, in which you can get 2 indie games for free. And that's going to be coming either this week or next week. So you better subscribe now or you'll end up forgetting about us and not get those 2 free indie games. If you win, that is.
She tries to flee and she tries to turn. Crippling fire, we'll grab her hold. We're stuck in the road, but we've got her on a leash. The crew of drunken pilots, we're the only airship pirates. We're full of hard air and we're starting to rise with the terror of the skies when they did it to ourselves. The crew of drunken pilots, we're the only airship pirates. We're full of hard air and we're starting to rise with the terror